Not up to the song, yeah, let's come together as one. They say you not there, we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lova Country, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Sessi. I'm a bad that way on your tree. I walk on the fine way. Tabila, Kriwako. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the swamp, but I chilled with my guns. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bones. True son of the sun, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love LIB. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I holding your own. United, we stand, divided, we fall. You know what I say when I come with ball. When I chillin' on that side, I get no bro. I got L to the O to the V and the E. If we fighting together, we can conquer this team. From the east to the west, then waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, that's joining the team. You go where you pella, you love my crown. Who kill it? Who got it?
I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mama was born, yeah. Papa was born, yeah. They hold us together, the honey boy, yeah. Nabali kena koya bake na papa kubo. Nabali kena koya bake na papa kubo. Nabali kola kowe na papa kubo. Nabali kola kowe na papa kubo. Labiro waka poma o. Labiro waka ma o. Bangada anwa waka ma o. Anwa waka ma o. Anwa
from the east to the west, north up to the south, yeah, let's come together as one. They say united we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lova Country, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Sessi. I'm a bad that way on your tree. I walk on the fine way. Tabila, Kriwako. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Master Square on the mix.
Open Conversation is a 2-hour current affairs program that talks about the major happenings in the country. And on this program, it's where we analyze and give to the Liberian people the trending issues that are engulfed with the happenings of the country. So we want to use this opportunity to say welcome, fellow Liberians, wherever you're following us from and however you're listening. This is ELBC 99.9, and my name is Washington Prince Tappert Jr. And welcome to Open Conversation. This is the best thing happening on radio at about this time across the country. So let me now cross over to my host and welcome her in. Good evening, Titiana. How you doing?
Well, I'm good. It is good to be here again. There's Tuesday evening.
Yep.
Today's the 17th day of October. And the year remains 2023. We bless God for another opportunity to be here this evening. Not many people were opportuned to be alive at this time.
Exactly.
We all anticipated these elections, and we prayed for October 10.
Mm-hmm.
Some people saw October 10, but today is October 17, and we're talking about other people who have left us already.
Yep.
So we're grateful that, God has sustained us. And thanks to all of you who continue to follow. We're here again tonight. And tonight is all about, we'll talk about the trending issues because that is that's how the show
Exactly.
is, formatted. But we'll not forget to talk about, peace,
Yeah.
peace, because without peace, and we can be, as a country, we all know, if you're following what's happening out of Liberia or in the world, you will know what's happening in Israel, and what's happening in the Gaza Strip. You don't want to experience that because you know what we have gone through as a people, as a country.
Yes.
What we have gone through in this country is nothing that anybody wants to experience in their life,
Not at all.
especially if you were alive to see what we went through. And even if you were not alive, I'm sure your parents will tell you something, because as young as we were during the war, we experienced a lot. That is why we don't want our children to go through what we went through with our parents, running helter-skelter.
Exactly.
Elections is all about, an exchange of ideas. And because we're practicing democracy, all of us have our sides that we support, and that is democracy. And so that's why elections are held. And when the elections are held, when people vote, the will of the people always prevails.
Must
But
be respected.
if you are, a part of the process, you have to wait because there are referees. So when you don't wait for the referee to sound the whistle and you start going, it can be, an infringement of the rule. It can be a foul against you. And so
Exactly.
we don't want that, because those kind of fouls or infringements can lead to, something different. And we don't want that because we have experienced those kind of things before.
Absolutely, we don't want that. So that is the reason why tonight we're going to be dismissing the myth and these things trending in the public that don't seem well to project a peaceful atmosphere in our country, particularly when we are in the decision making process period of our country's history. So tonight we're going to be talking a couple of issues. Current open conversation has a trend. And the trend is that we bring you the trending issues. And if we have guests, we introduce our guests. If we don't have, that means we have our set topics that we're going to be interacting with the public with. So tonight we're going to be talking about issues surrounding Liberia, particularly about peace. We're going to be looking at the statement coming from the LRA. We're going to be looking at the issue surrounding the opposition unity party.
Of course,
And
the people in Liberia say the child ain't born yet, but the eye big or the eye is open.
the time for you, but you're talking.
You have not won elections. You have already, formed a cabinet.
So we're going to be circumnavigating into that, exactly what is coming out from the Unity Party. And we're going to be talking about that exclusively. We're going to be looking deep and deeper into that. So these are
Isaac Ray would say we're digging deep into that.
yeah, we're digging deep into that. So these are things that we are going to be concerned with tonight. So if you're following us, we like to appeal to your indulgence to stay and stick with us, because there are a lot more information that you need to hear, and you need to get glued to yourself. So probably let's go back to you. Let's start up with something on
Yeah,
trending.
and so what I want to say is that, thanks to all of us as Liberians, on a general scale, as we await the final outcome of this national elections, I'd like to give it out to all of us who have continued to maintain the peace and wait for the National Elections Commission to announce those results, instead of, following the lead of others who think the only thing they can do in this country, whether they're in country or out of country, is to, make people go in the streets,
Yeah.
To revert to the old order. Thanks to the Liberian people who are resolved and have said to themselves that, that is not the way out of any situation in our country.
No,
if
exactly.
people go to elections, we said yesterday, if you are, are disenfranchised, you have a way out. That is the courts. And you can take to the streets, and you can, behave in a form and manner that is going to cause disturbance in our country. And we want to say hats up to all of us, for maintaining the peace. This peace that we now enjoy, we're not in any readiness to allow anybody to disrupt the peace.
Not
And
at
thanks
all.
to the joint security that continues to tell us that, anybody who tries anything, we are ready to put stop to that. That is an assurance from the joint security. And I think Liberians are paying more attention to that. And nobody wants to kind of, take themselves back, because if you did anything like that, we're taking ourselves, we're making,
Exactly.
steady progress.
Exactly.
And if we try anything here, we go back maybe 6, 7 steps.
Yes.
And we don't want that, because we like to always talk about, what we went through as a nation, as a people. Every one of us have our own stories that we can tell. As long as you were, you passed 10 years before 1980 and 1990, you already know that you were in for something else when the war started. If you were 15 years of age, 14 years of age when the war started in Liberia, you already know exactly what transpired, because we grew up in the war.
Yes.
We ran here, there, yonder with our parents, just going helter-skelter, not knowing where we're going, but we're just going because we're looking for refuge. We ended up places where we didn't, we had
We didn't
no
even
choice.
imagine.
We didn't have any choice.
Yes.
We slept in places we wouldn't sleep when there is no
Normally.
war. Yeah, but we had to sleep there because we wanted to live. There are some of our parents who could not do that. They prefer dying in dignity than to run away from somebody who's just going to take them out of their homes. People came and told people to leave their homes because they were fighters, they were rebels, and they felt that they were in charge. They were in charge, and so they took control of every situation. People do not want to go back to that. Nobody wants to experience what we experienced during the war.
And that is the reason why we must always project this platform to be a platform that will inform the people and enact the slogan of peace in this country. Going back to the dark days is nothing to think about right now with this form of trajectory and a rehabilitation process this country is going through now. We are not thinking about going back to the dark days, because all of the experiences we've had when we were growing up, when we were coming up, we don't even think about reverting to the dark days. So fellow Liberians, don't be fooled, don't be misused, don't allow someone sitting somewhere to abuse your civil rights. Don't allow someone sitting somewhere to tell you jump in the street. Like I was scrolling through the Facebook today, and I saw someone supporting one of these political parties. They say when neck do to blah blah blah, we'll jump in the street. So I told the guy, I said, my brother, that's a very wrong statement. You can't say these things. Why will you jump in the street to do? There are requisite authorities in the country that is responsible to address. I always tell people that even if you have concerns, you have your qualms, there are authorities in the country that is responsible to address these concerns and qualms. So there's no need to jump in the street. Don't put fear in the people. Don't frighten the democracy that we enjoy. Don't do it.
Those are all scare tactics sometimes people try to employ. And the thing, if they do those kind of things, other people are going to be afraid. But that is not changing anything. That's why I like to give it up. Also, I commend the National Elections Commission for maintaining, for managing the expectations and its strive to investigate every reported incident in line with transparency. And the National Elections Commission might have her own faults, right? But in totality, let's give it up for the NEC, because they're really managing expectations of the Liberian people with the kind of hype, with the kind of thing that people are trying to do and trying to encourage others to do. Were the NEC not to have carried herself in such a form and manner, then maybe we would have been saying something different. Because mind you, from the day we had elections and the results started coming out, people talk to Facebook, even to radio stations, and started saying things they got no business saying when they know that they themselves don't have the right, to announce results. But official results announcement comes from the National Elections Commission.
Not even from the day of TT, not even from the day, but from the day campaign was being declared open. It came with huge tension we saw what happened in this country that led to the loss of lives of people, and then predicated upon announcing results. Not even the National Elections Commission has not even, started with result announcement. People have already started projecting themselves to be the winners. You understand? This is so embarrassing to the peaceful democracy that we enjoy in this country. We all must be able to dwell in the tenets of respect for the rule of law in this country. It's very important. It plays a pivotal role in the rebuilding structure and the rebuilding process of our democracy. So we all must live up to that. NEC must get a tap on the back for conducting herself in such a clever manner. You see how things are going? People are always saying stuff on Facebook. Oh, this person. Now we see people saying different things. The tunes are changing because NEC is putting
National
herself.
Elections Commission has been able to manage the expectation of the Liberian people,
Period.
which is a good thing.
Period.
But I was trying to talk about, when the results started coming in, because when we have campaign, a lot of things happen, and then you expect that following the campaign, the NEC will announce that, campaign closes at this so and so time. And so as a respect for, person, as a citizen, you should respect, what the National Elections Commission has said, because we're done with campaigning now. We know the campaign came with bloodshed and all of that,
All
but that
kinds of
should have been
stuff.
behind us going forward to elections or going into the elections. And then after the elections, waiting for the National Elections Commission to, do her part, because the political parties had their parts to play. The political observers had their part to play. They had their time to campaign. They had a time to tell people, to sell themselves to the people. The National Elections Commission was not, a party to that.
No.
So after you did yours, the NEC had her time, and this is her time. And according to the laws, the NEC has 15 days, after the elections, to announce the final results. We've not gone 3 days, 4 days, and people were clamoring all over the place. The NEC is wasting time. The NEC is this, the NEC is that, only because people feel that when you have a piece of job to do, you should do it to their expectation. Whether or not you have a statutory period to work within, they really don't care about that.
No.
And those kind of people who do these kind of things are people who want problem, who want to instigate violence. They do it because of how the society is gullible, and they feel that they can do that to get into the minds of the people.
Exactly.
But again, kudos to, the National Elections Commission. Thank you so much for, this time around, managing the expectations of the Liberian people. Though we had, we have some little things, against the National Elections Commission. For me, and I like the way the commissioner said today, when she was asked concerning that. That is alarming. That is concerning when you have over 100,000, 112,000 people, not people, but invalid votes.
Invalid votes.
That is very, very concerning. I like the way she. Yeah. Anyway, you can say that again. But I like what she. I didn't like the response from one of the commissioners, but then she came back to respond and said
the guy who responded.
Yeah, but she came back and said, let me just, I talk about this. And she said, what, we're going to go back into our closet. We're going to look at, what really happened and find solutions to that. Because everyone has this period when we do news, and after that we go back into the newsroom and we do post-mortem, to know exactly if you made mistakes, why you made those mistakes. This is your mistake, so next time you don't do that again. You capitalize, on the corrections and do it better. So I like the way she put it, that we're gonna go back, and see exactly what happened, and then next time when we're conducting elections, then we can do it better, because the civic voter education, I don't know whether, it was done properly or not, but the NEC will know. I always say that the only person you don't lie to is yourself. Sometimes you lie to people, but you can lie to yourself. You tell yourself what is true, but because you want to be very, very wicked and deceptive, you put lies out there, but you know the real truth. And that is sad, because a lot of people do these things in our country, and they do it to the detriment of the common people, which is sad.
You're right.
You know something is not correct, You tell people this is what's going to happen, and you know that is not going to happen.
It's impossible.
And when you do that, you make people, you give them false hope, and then in the end, if you're not careful, you will end up suffering for your actions.
Exactly.
Because that is not the right thing to do in any kind of process. So we hope that, the NEC can go back in her closet
and
do her own post-mortem.
Yeah.
And then the next time, she's conducting elections, she can, do well. And the political parties need to learn from this. I am saying that I did not see sample ballots until the last day of the campaign was when I saw, members of the Coalition for Democratic Change distributing sample ballots to people. That is very, very key, because if people, maybe they had it, but I didn't see it. I'm saying the day I saw it. Right, and whether we like it or not, majority of our population is, illiterate, whether we like it or not. So we have to, as a political party, as a candidate in any election, whether you are from, a political party or you are an independent candidate, it's important, because you do all of the work and tell people, vote for me. But if I cannot identify you on the ballot paper, how do I vote for you? It goes just back against you. All of the work you've done, it goes in vain.
You're right.
Because there are reports now, we hear a lot of testimonies from people who are saying somebody went in there, the president doesn't even know what to do, they stand there. Somebody was saying today there's an older woman who went behind the box, she stayed there ever so long, she couldn't come out. So people with the NEC,
the NEC supervisors.
Yeah, the supervisors were concerned. Oh, why you stay more than 10-15 minutes behind that? But she said, well, I don't know what to do.
Come on, man.
Yeah, because she has somebody she wants to vote for, but she doesn't know how to find the person.
It's embarrassing. You are right when you say our population is illiterate. A significant portion of our population is illiterate.
Yes, so you have to tell people, this is the way to do it. This is how you find me. You make it easier. If you don't tell people, like the guy in River G, he says, I'm not going to make anybody feel bad.
Just vote all of them.
Just vote for all of them. I'll just correct everything. And, it goes against a political party. Yeah, so we have to do better. But all in all, so far so good. The National Elections Commission has announced, the results. And the results for the presidency today, President Weah has gone back on top with 791,661 votes, constituting 43.79% of the votes count. And then he's followed closely by Unity Party's Joseph Boakai with 786,205 votes, amounting to 43.49% of the votes. And also, we like to say that the National Elections Commission also has termed the National Elections Commission is carrying out or has ordered a rerun of elections for two polling places. At a voting precinct in electoral district number 4 in Nimba County.
Yes.
The next chairperson, Deviata Brown Lasana, said the Board of Commissioners has since mandated the Secretariat to plan for the conduct of the exercise on Friday, October 21. Today is the 17th. So this coming Friday, they are expected to be there is, it's expected that elections will be held in
Nimba County,
a voting precinct in our electoral district number 4. But it can also be recalled that on election day, some individuals took away, they stormed the voting precinct, and then they took away, the ballot boxes and destroyed the contents. How in the world will you do that?
Unfortunately,
we go to elections, then you, as a disgruntled group of people, just gather yourselves and go there and take away the ballot boxes. They destroy it. How do you do that? Are you above the law?
So
why?
You see, these are things that when people who are unscrupulous, people who don't know the essence of rebuilding a country and putting structures together and ensuring that the lives of people are improved through their votes, that they entrust in politicians who are clothed with the authority to better the society. Some people who are unscrupulous will jump in these responsible places and grab ballot boxes to do what? To disrupt the process. The government.
No, I beg to differ. I'm going to hold you there at Washington, because for me, it's not about those people who went there. Those people who went there did not go there by themselves.
I know.
People who should know better, who want to be leaders of our country, are the ones who encourage other people to do these kind of things when they believe that they are losing.
So the people who went there, don't they have conscience as well?
So the thing about it is, if you have money, right, you can, somebody who doesn't have money believes that you are doing well and you can give them money to perpetuate violence, they're going to do that. That is what people do. People who want to lead are the ones who are telling other people to disrupt the process. They cannot go to do that. They will not do that themselves. That is the sad thing about our society. So I agree with you.
Okay.
If you are of age and somebody tells you that go and do this, go and destroy something, you should know better and do better.
Simple.
But again, people have role models.
Eating at their detriment.
Of course. That is why when you want to be a leader in a country or in, a city or a town, you must be somebody with good morals. And that is what people should look for. And not because this person can give you something to eat today or give you small money. There are people who are vying for positions in this country and their records are very dirty.
Simple.
Their records are very dirty, but we don't pay attention to these things because we only want small thing from these people. But they're doing it against us because if they are sent to power, they don't care about us anymore.
No.
It's about them. People I use you to get to where I want to go. Whether you die in the process or not is up to you. Only because I pay you small money to do that. That is what the young people must keep up in their heads. Because if somebody tells you to go and instigate violence, they're giving you small money to do that, agreed. But if something happens to you in the process of doing that, they don't have time for you anymore.
Absolutely.
Because they know that they've paid you to do what they asked you to do.
To damage your future.
So you go and do it. Well, when you do it, you execute that properly. Good for you. But if you're caught, they're going to leave you right there.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to go after making sure that, things get better for you. And your family will feel it.
Oh, yeah. Because you know what it means to start the national election process.
Of course.
You know what it means.
Of course.
It is grave, and you must be penalized for that.
Of course.
You take huge punishment. And that politician sitting somewhere in the corner who has instructed you to go and carry out, that misbehavior somewhere, they're not going to the prison compound with you. You're going there, you'll be disciplined by the government. The government will ensure that if you're supposed to be in jail for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you will bear that penalty. The politician will sit comfortably in his air-conditioned car. He doesn't care about you, how
your
you
parents, your wife, your whoever will be running after them, and they wouldn't even have time for them.
Not
because I listened to the commissioner today talking about even some people who were participating in the process. I think some people have been even taken into for questioning because they tamper with the ballot boxes. How in the world are you going to apply to be a part of a process and then you are asked to do that and you allow somebody who is running to use you, at the detriment of the majority of the people?
You subject yourself to be staggered, to be influenced by a politician will. The man tell you, say, my man, that election there, I won't win it.
So I want you to do this, I want you to do that.
I want you to inflict something for me. Then you allow yourself, looking at it. We're talking about democracy here. In the first place, we're talking about democracy. The will of the people must be respected, should not be thwarted by any person. Particularly, you are a proponent of democracy. You are participating in a process that will announce the will of the people. Then you allow a politician sitting somewhere to tell you, influence the thing. Then you influence it. NEC is informed. The requisite authority is informed. The government is informed. They take you to tax. That politician who told you to do that thing, my brother, you're on your own. So you see, This is the problem with our people. The politicians will influence them to their own detriment without even having a second thought. It's the problem. So we need to rebuild ourselves from this, this entrenched issue that Liberia is suffering with. We absolutely need to.
Okay, good. So the National Elections Commission will pause on the NEC. You already know how the results went, and polling is going on in those places. The rerun will include it will be for the presidency, the senators, and the representatives. So the whole new thing they're doing over there, the same thing they're doing it all over. In that voting place in district number 4 in Nimba County, and that is going to happen on Friday, this coming Friday. And I'm sure that is why up to now we haven't had the final results from the National Elections Commission. But mind you, the NEC still has time in her favor to announce.
I think we've gone
a week now.
So probably we have maybe a little over a week, because 15 days, right? 2 weeks is
that's a lot of time.
Days. Little over a week. We have little over a week to conclude it. So I believe because in most of the polling places in the country, we've gone like 90. You listen to them, you're like 90%, 98 point something percent. Almost everything.
But the presidential, is just like 2% of the votes now left to be, counted. So I don't know much about the representative, but we almost,
But the representative, they have already started pronouncing some winners already. So it tells you we're already at.
And we know the Senate resumed today. And so our correspondent there is Samson David at the Liberian Senate. I want to talk to him a little bit, because from the Liberian Senate today, Senator Vani Shermer announced his retirement from politics. So let me speak with Samson David. Samson, good evening.
Good evening to you. Let me say good evening to everyone.
Are you hearing him?
Yeah, I'm getting something.
Okay, good. Samson, the Liberian Senate resumed work today. Tell us more about that. What happened on Capitol Hill today?
Well, thank you so much. As we be aware, this is a usual thing. The Senate returned today from their usual break, that is the second constituency break. There were several senators, as you may be aware also, the entire constituency break was actually characterized by the campaign, the electoral activities. So today, most of the senators who were in the first section today provided updates on the various counties and what they have been hearing on their people in terms of infrastructure, talk about roads and other things, and what should be done to see how they can improve some of their infrastructure activities across the country.
So, what is the highlight? Who were those talking about roads, and what have you? And I also want to know about, because, some of them went back for re-election. Do we know exactly how many of them know now that they're not coming back?
Well, there were 13 senators who actually, contesting on the level of the Senate, like we said. You have Senator Jane Turner who declined for personal reasons, which of course has not been disclosed. We have the late Senator Daniel Nathan. As a result of that, you have the total of 15, but it was reduced to 13 contested the 2023 elections. So we have 4 that actually clear in terms of returning to the legislature.
Only 4 as of now who are cleared?
Yes, as of now, those that are actually clear, according to their own explanation, have Senator Abbott Chie, who is also the Senate Pro Tem. We have Senator Sir Joseph, we have Senator Prince Johnson, and Maryland County Senator Blackwood Brown.
Oh, Blackwood Brown is cleared also?
It's one person who has been reported to have been cleared, reportedly cleared from the election.
Okay.
You have also senators like Senator Jonathan Carpe, Senator Vani Sherman, several other senators who are yet to be clear. Today you have Senator Vani Sherman, who conceded defeat, and also Senator Jonathan Carpet of Grand Plaza County.
Did Carpet concede defeat today also?
Oh yes, Senator Jonathan Carpet conceded defeat, but again, he told his colleagues to continue the level of work that they have been doing.
Was he in section today?
Yes, he was in section. He spoke to his colleagues to remain, steadfast in terms of seeking the welfare of the Liberian people, continue to do the hard work in terms of ensuring that the OSA responsibility
Okay.
of the Senate actually, be able to actually look at it, because it's one thing he talked about the issue of role, he talked about farm to market role, he talked about the issue of civil servant and other things that he talked about. But at the end of his speech today, he said it was a very good thing to serve along with his colleague, especially Senator Pro Tem Abache, and he actually, explored them to do more in terms of seeking the welfare of Liberian people.
Okay, so what about the senator from Norfolk County? Because we know the results from Norfolk County, are clear at 100%.
Well, the National Elections Commission have already declared
Momo Cyrus.
Momo Cyrus is
The winner.
senator-elect.
Mhm.
So definitely Senator Steve Zako is not re-elected, and he did not attend section today. We also have Senator Vani Sherman, who attended and announced his retirement from active politics.
So what about the other people? Did they come? Because you talked about Steve Zago, you talked about Jonathan Kape, you talked about Vani Sherman, but there are others who should be in section today, whether elected or not. Did they attend?
We did not see Senator Francis Pate of Riverside County, Stano County Senator Milton Tiaji. We did not also see.
But what's the news from their end? We're hearing that they've now also considered defeat, because we heard that, in Sino County, there are reports that Milton Tiaji was not standing too good as it relates to the results coming out of the National Elections Commission. The same with Francis Pay of Riverside.
Oh yes, the Francis Pay was not re-elected on grounds that the National Elections Commission yesterday declared Honorable Bill Tawe elected as Senator of Riverside County. But again, we did not hear much from them, especially at their offices when they did not see, and then some of their offices were still closed. So we did not hear much from them. But from the talent of the National Elections Commission, I will speak down bulk of the senators, including Senator Setuma, Vani Sherman, Jonathan Carpe, Milton Tiaji, Francis P, and Henry Tupac. It is clear that indeed, with the talent actually, with the talent from the National Elections Commission,
That they're most likely not to come back.
Yes, indeed. So,
But these people are working up till December of this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
yes, indeed. The final statement of the legislature of the sixth section is expected to end in December, and I will speak. There are several other things in committee room that they have to look at. They also have to look at the issue of the budget if submitted. According to the PFN law, that is the Public Financial Management Law, the budget should be submitted to the legislature on the 31st of October. So this was one of the issues that were actually discussed today, reminding the Senate Pro Tem to ensure or to inform the executive that indeed, while it is true that election is ongoing, the government is still running. So he was told to remind the executive to ensure that the budget is submitted on time, so as to give them upper time to review the entire budget.
So these outgoing senators will come also to discuss the budget, that they will not be a part of the next section, right? According to the law, they should be doing that because they're getting paid for that.
Constitutionally, they are to form part of those who will be discussing the budget, be deliberating on the national budget, because the budget will begin January 2024. So they have to ensure that the budget is passed, so as to give the government the opportunity to be able to run as a result of when the budget is passed.
Okay, Samson David, thank you. Keep your eyes on that. Some people who have already announced their retirement from politics, and others who are not going to section, they're still going to get paid, so they have to do the Liberian people job. So keep your eyes on that and keep us informed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Samson David is our reporter at the Liberian Senate, you heard from him. A lot of them are, most likely not to come back. Like only 4 of them out of the 13, because, like the senator from Margibi County did not contest. He hasn't said why he didn't contest, but also Senator Daniel Neten died just before election. So there were 13, alive and going for re-election. So, or 4 of them are cleared. Cleared now. 4 minus 13 is what?
It's about 9,
10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that is a huge number.
Yeah,
so if you have...
But the last time you listened to the pro team, when they were having the prayer, I think they were closing, I think. He said we're going for election. But history is clear that most likely most senators, they don't return back, but we hope this election will be okay. But you see,
the pro-tem were praying. The pro-tem were praying.
The pro-tem said that.
Oh, okay.
He said it. Yeah, he said the history had not been judged with senators when it comes to re-elections. Most at times senators go. I think the other time, I think we can remember. I don't know what that election. It was only Senator Johnson and Joel came back, and
I'm not sure. With that number. But the thing about it is, we can say in Liberia, Tulsa and Tulsa, if you have 9 years to work for the people, and within 9 years you can't do anything that is going to impress the people, obviously they're not going to get you back to the Liberian Senate. And anybody who has an opportunity to serve for 9 years and you can serve with distinction, then I'm sorry.
And this is what
really sorry.
And this is what we talk about patriotism. Patriotism is not in the mind of most of these people. Now, see what Samson has just reported. They give you 9 years. The Liberian people give you 9 years as a senator to steer the affairs of the county and to ensure that the plights of the people are delivered to the government, to the field of the government. Now, you went and you did your own thing over the 9 years. The people have thought it wise that since we've given you this opportunity for 9 years, if you misuse this opportunity, we're going to remove you from there and employ someone else. Some of them now are allegedly, staying out of section. They are not going. They're open today. They're supposed to go back to do the Liberian people's job, because whether they go or they don't go, they will be paid for that. So it is incumbent upon these people to restart the Liberian people's job and to ensure that they discuss the budget that is to be submitted for the fruition of the next government to come. You understand?
Of course. That's their job. They have to do that because they're going to be paid for that.
So allegedly they start staying back. You seen it?
I didn't know about that, so I'm not going to jump into
that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying, the media has to keep their eyes on them too, because sometimes when you go into these processes, we're humans. They're humans also. When you get flogged, after spending a lot of money, especially if you didn't do anything much for the people, incumbent, you spend a lot of money at the end, and sometimes that's all of your money, almost all of your money you're spending. And when you spend that money and you don't get the needed result, then you're really you're not yourself. It's not about only being embarrassed, but you're thinking about the future, because your anticipation was that you will be back at the Liberian Senate. You spend a lot of money and you want to resuscitate,
but you didn't do well.
Yeah,
you didn't do well.
It is what it is.
9 years, you didn't do well. You play with it, then you want to return. The Liberian people have made their decisions.
The people don't have a problem with that. That is not what we're discussing. Sorry. The people know that if the Liberian people, Vanessa Shima, senator, said today that he's disappointed in the people of Grand Cape County, because in his mind, he believes that he worked hard, but the people don't believe that. And so they didn't retain him. So that is it. you will always think that you've done your best. If your best is not good enough, the
people will grade you.
retain you.
They will grade you. They are your employers.
Always the case.
Exactly.
So let's move on to something else. We'd like to talk about what's the release from the Liberia Revenue Authority. There were reports on Facebook today that people were being, sacked Unity Party partisans at the Liberia Revenue Authority were taking off their jobs because they are from Lofa County and, they are Unity Party partisans. So I like to read these are some of the lies we talk about every day, and these lies have the propensity to derail the progress of the country, because people just get up in the morning when they don't have anything to do, they thread on lies every time. And the thing, because the society is a gullible one, everybody's going to believe what they're going to say. Everyone is a journalist on Facebook now who just throws trash on Facebook without doing any investigation. You see a group of people at LBS here in a meeting, and you assume that this is what they're doing because they're in that meeting, and then you take to Facebook and just write trash. So the Liberia Revenue Authority came out with a statement. It says, and I'm going to read this verbatim. It says the Liberia Revenue Authority has termed false and misleading information currently circulating on social media regarding the alleged dismissal of employees believed to be Unity Party partisans and supporters from Lofa and Nimba counties. The LRA said it is a national government institution with an unwavering commitment to the collection of lawful revenues for the betterment of the Liberian people and the development of the nation. LRA wants to emphasize that it remains or maintains a strict policy of non-partisanship and does not hire or terminate employment based on any political allegiance. A release from the LRA stated that the referenced meeting in the fabricated message is a routine gathering of the LRA executive management team, which often includes the Minister of Finance and other senior officials from the ministry. It added that these meetings serve as forums for the discussion of policy matters and other critical issues pertaining to revenue collection and overall performance at the LRA. The release added that the LRA will not be distracted by any form of negative propaganda that seeks to draw the authority into the realm of mainstream politics. This is sad because this rumor was circulating on social media since morning that people who are from Nimba County and from Lofa County who support the Unity Party but work for the LRA, there is a meeting going on at the LRA and people have been dismissed. I was speaking with somebody from the LRA today, and they said, you are in the media, let people come up to say, let's hear the names of people who have been fired because they're Unity Party partisans, or they're from Nimba County, or they're Lofa. They're supporting people against the government. Lofa County. Let those, rumor mongers come up with the names of those people who work for LRA and we have fired them. This is just, sad. It's very, very sad that people would not have anything to do but just throw lies out there from morning to night, and they think that is the best thing to do, just to plunge this country into confusion, into chaos. Because if people who are from the Unity Party or from Lofa County or Nimba County see these kind of things, then they go against the government. Then they want to cause chaos because they believe that the government is hunting their own, which is not true.
These kind of statement, particularly these kind of statement, are meant, like you said, and I would take it from that point and that angle. When certain people see these kind of information, what they do is that it ignites them. It pushes them against the government without people who can reason well, people who don't use their deductive and inductive reasoning ability. It ignites them to go against the government. So with these kind of messages coming on the social media or whatever it may be, it is incumbent upon the press, it is incumbent upon people who, will demystify these kind of myth to the people who do not really understand. Now, here is it. Someone is bent on ensuring that certain people are just bitter about the government. The government has been having people who are known, partisans at the LRA for over since the government took over.
Throughout government, not only the LRA, but all government entities.
I just want to
government is on
refer to
record.
Let's just circle there around the
There's
LRA.
nowhere you go and
You
people
understand?
just pick at you because you don't support the ruling establishment.
In every sector of the government, there are people there who have their different political opinions, and they've been there for the last 6 years now. You understand? So, is it because of these elections that will make the propaganda people? Why the government didn't fire them? Prior to taking over, say, "Oh, you people not supporting the government, so you go one side." No, this is not the kind of divisive politics we're supposed to be preaching. Even if you, in the future, will have to take over, you're not still going to employ all your surrogates. Because you're going to have
They're going to employ all their surrogates. That's what they're saying. Because President Weah is on record. I remember because I was even in service at the Winners Chapel when President Weah took over, and he gave a very stern warning to all of his government officials and say, "Do not touch anybody because you believe they did not vote for me. I am the president of Liberia, and I'm the president for all of the citizens, regardless whether you voted for me or not." And so I'm sending this warning out to all of my lieutenants. President Weah is on record for that. Unlike the Unity Party that did downsizing of people when they came to power, this government is not on record for that. How do you come in the public on today and go on social media and say people are being dismissed? You don't put the names of the people because you're lying. And not a lot of people will go and find out and say, but where are the names of the people that you say were dismissed?
Exactly. So
but they will just run with that propaganda, and it's just so unfair.
The control of information, correct. The control of information in this country is one of the things that has given us problem, and it's very, very, very unbecoming. People put out information. There are professional people who are in this government, and government yesterday and government to come, who are professional people. There are people who they don't want to get involved with politics. How do you describe or how do you identify that this particular person doesn't support? Who told you that people from Lofa County don't support President Weah? Who told you that? This leadership or the CDC put up a very good, a political counter in Lofa County. People give out. So don't make Lofa County or don't make the Lofians or the Mayans to feel like they are enemy to the government. Don't do that. These are not the kind of information that we want to, we want to absorb into the politics of our country. No. So this is the reason why these people give us colossal responsibility as people in the media to keep informing the public about these mis and disinformation that have the proclivity to lead this country to something different. And that is the reason why we must stand firm in order to educate our people on this kind of information, trivialize them, reduce them to nothing, so our people can hate people for no reason. Because certain bad people sitting somewhere and they don't want certain thing to happen, and they see that probably they may be losing certain concentration and they want to ignite something, they want to bring about something that will just spoil everything. These are the kind of people who are threat to the democracy of this country. And we must be able to inform the Liberian people about these disinformation that are coming from these wrongful sources. It's unfortunate.
Okay, so let's go to our final, discussion point, and then we open up the lines for you to make your input. So just take down your notes, and then you can speak to any of the issues that we are discussing tonight. But we just talk about the final issue, and then we open up the lines, and it'd be your turn to talk about those issues. Like I was saying, the baby boy, the IPIC. You have not won elections, right? But you've already formed a cabinet. PYJ is on the verge of being dumped or thrown into the lion's den if the Unity Party wins the election. Something that is still not certain But can you imagine the plans that, people in the Unity Party already have for Senator Johnson? It's clear. It clearly shows the level of evil on their part with double faces. And why do I say this? In case you didn't know, the men running with this kind of mischief and a devilish plan is the very nephew of Joseph Newman Boaka, Jake Kabakoli. This is a real security on security right now for the players, with none of them, taking the plight of the Liberian people into consideration. Why do I say this? Remember, PYG and Jeremiah Coon have their own plan. You know about their plan.
Yeah.
That is, if the election goes their way, Prince Johnson is heard in a leaked tip audio saying that if UP wins the elections, Jeremiah Coon will be like the de facto president because Joseph Newman Boaka is not well. The Omen is not well, and Jeremiah Coon will be the one, running here, there, and making decisions on behalf of the Unity Party. But mind you, having said that, the Unity Party remained mute and went to elections. Right? We went to elections. They have not announced the final results of the elections, but in their chat room, they've already formed their cabinet. They already have a plan for Senator Johnson. So I'm going to go to this leaked, messages from their camp and the plan that they have for the government. The formation of the government. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it here, but let me see what I can find from my phone, because this one is playing tricks on me right now.
Just go to our conversation there.
So let me see whether I can get it from here and just go into it. But it is what it is. Yeah. Like I said, the main boy, they are already big. Formation of a government. A cabinet, has already been in force. And again, I always, say that where these people have said that they're coming to rescue the Liberian people, but I don't see the Liberian people in all of this plan. When you go to the side of Senator Johnson, he already has his plan for what is going to happen and how Jeremiah Coon is going to be running the show. When you come to the Unity Party folks, they too have their plan of what they're going to do when they take power. So this is a leaked conversation, and I'm going to read this conversation. And I think I should just go into the really nitty gritty, but it's a conversation between, the Amos Tue, the Jake Kabakoli, the Patrick Honda, the Mosio. These are the key players in this conversation. So it starts with Amos greeting them. Hi, what's going on, guys? Jake say hi. Patrick Honda says greetings. Mosio, who is Rabok Bade, he says good. How are you, Amos Tue? He says hi. My brother, you're doing well with the Daughters of a Rescue, and then the say in word from Rescue. He's asking now. So Jake Kabakoli is asking. Jake Kabakoli says, you're doing, Mosio says, my brother, he's talking to Jake Kabakoli, you're doing well with the Daughters of Rescue, and then the laugh. So Jake asking, say, any word from Rescue 2? Is Yombli Kaga is asking about.
Rescue 2?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Oh yeah, 2. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, sorry. Okay, sorry. Then he says, of course, we're doing extremely well. Patrick Honda. Then say Mosio Rabokpade comes back. Opa, and I trust him. I see that these guys are now beginning to run with the issue of runoff. According to Jake Kabakoli, yeah, exactly, Patrick Honda. In this process, let's trust the order of the day, comrades. And so the conversation continues. We really push them all. But the commissioner ruled, my brother, And the conversation continues. So this is the very interesting part of it. Jake Kabakoli says, we will continue to push them. The rescue victory is inevitable. I am overly optimistic. Patrick Honda comes back and says, certainly. Then another one comes. Good morning, guys. Jake, what's the itinerary for tomorrow? Are we still on course to meet with Rescue One? Please advise. Then Jake comes back and says, yes, but I have to make some adjustments to the cabinet list. Remember that he was so outraged over the delay. That's Jake Kabakoli. Then Robert Pade comes back and says, I think he was somehow right. Then Robert Pade says, I think he was somehow right, considering how the final results are fast approaching. But can you kindly share to the room the updated version of the stuff? Then Patrick Honda comes and says, Jake Kabakoli, at what time is the meeting tomorrow? Then Kabakoli comes back. He says, yes, at 11, but we will all have to be around in time. I think he also have a meeting with Yombli Rescue 2, Chairman Tapper, Senator Dillon, and other members of the national campaign team right after our meeting. Then Amos Tua comes in and says, hi, colleagues, what's up? Sorry for coming in late. Was on a call with Chairman Tapper. Jake Kabakoli, have you concluded the stuff as instructed? Chairman spoke about this thing not too long. So Jake Kabakoli comes back now with the thing that they were talking about. Please have a look at the revised version of the list. Rescue One insisted that we have Honorable Steve Zago included and few other names included. So he posted the list of the people who are going to be on the members of the cabinet. So then somebody comes back, I'll read a list, right? But somebody comes back and says, there are no strategic positions given to MDR for Nibayans in what was just shared. How come, colleagues? We have to be careful. Don't you think the Nibayans will feel offended? It's a question, and that question was asked. And then Mosio asked that question at Robert Pade.
Yeah, and Patrick.
Yes, then Patrick Honda comes back. Although some Nibayans will get offended, but we must act in the interest of our society.
Our safety.
Our safety. Yeah. Although some Nibayans will get offended, but we must act in the interest of our safety. That's according to Patrick Honda. Then Jake Kabakoli comes back and says, the history of Prince Johnson is well known, that we have used him to deliver NIMBA. Although the percentage is low, our anticipations cannot let him lose. We cannot let him lose. We have agreed as prospective cabinets and Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka to deal with the Prince Johnson agenda within the first 100 days in our administration. This will be our way of appraisement to the U.S. government and the international community who are angry with us for keeping PYJ around to support us. We will indict him for war crimes. That's Jake Kabakoli now. We will indict him for war crimes and turn him over to the ICJ for the allegations he faces for killing over 250,000 Liberians. Once we don't have Prince Johnson around, we are safe. The Nibayans are fools to believe we will allow our son and president to sleep in bed with a murderer. We have no choice but preserve our government and our people. This is their plan. That is Jake Kabakoli, the nephew of Joseph Yuma Boaka. What I'm going to read now is, the Unity Party cabinet that they have formed, and the names of people who are going to serve in different positions. The Bebe Boye, the Abik, Tomana Vapla, Ministry of Agriculture. Ahmed Mobdad, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Alaric Togba, Ministry of Education. Sylvester Newman, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. John B. Fellow, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Madam Mandela Cooper, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Dr. Sando Sherman, Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. Joralimit Pia, Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. Moses W. Va, Ministry of Internal Affairs. Councillor Benedict Sanu, Ministry of Justice. Councillor Nito Zelai, Ministry of Labor. Sando Johnson, Ministry of Mines and Energy. Steve Zago, Ministry of National Defense. Councillor Cooper Kra, Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications. Roland Giddens, Ministry of Public Works. Jacob Kabakoli, Minister of State.
It's a ministry.
Ministry of State, sorry. Reverend J. Luther Tape, Ministry of Transport. Councillor Cole Bangaloo, Ministry of Youth and Sports. Patrick Horner, Presidential Press Secretary. Autonomous agencies. Joseph N. Boaka Jr., Liberia Maritime Authority. Chris Masakwe, Liberia National Police. Browning Samoka, Liberia Petroleum Refining Company. Amajala, National Port Authority. Stephen R. Johnson, Internal Audit Agency. Moore Ali, National Wash Commission. And Doug Cooper, National Transit Authority. So this is the cabinet of the Unity Party that hasn't won election yet.
The proposed cabinet.
Yeah, the proposed cabinet of the Unity Party, and those who are going to head autonomous agencies. Like I said earlier, the baby boy, they are big. And my thing is, you've said that you're coming to rescue Liberia, but we don't see your plan. And I say this because throughout the campaign, we haven't had, or we haven't heard, or we haven't seen, the plan that the Unity Party has for, Liberians to make the lives of the ordinary people better. But what we are seeing is first Prince Johnson, a senator who was heard in a leaked audio saying that, when the Unity Party wins, Jeremiah Kung will be the de facto president because Joseph Newman Boaka is not going to be able health-wise to run the government. So that is going to be placed squarely on the shoulders or the lap of Jeremiah Kung.
Yeah.
Now, in reverse, you also see now that the Unity Party folks, the Patrick Horner, the Jake Kabakoli, and inclusive of Ambassador Boaka, because this leaked stuff here, they were to have a meeting with Ambassador Boaka today, yeah. and he, according to the conversation, he has been asking them for this, listing, yeah. And you see the plan they have for Senator Johnson also. He got his plan for them, but they also have their plan for him. They call him a murderer of 250,000 Liberians, and Liberians will be fools to think that they're going to be in bed with Senator Johnson. I'm not going to talk much on this, but the Liberian people will have their take on this.
So I was jotting down some points when I read through the conversation that was, revealed by me, by you as well, and by schools of Liberians who reviewed this conversation between the folks of the Unity Party. So it draws my attention to, something that may seem catastrophic for the rebuilding structure and improving the fabric of this country. Now, I was asking myself, I say, so, people take advantage. People use these things as opportunity during these electoral period to grab what they have lost and mismanaged, misapplied. This is the time. So see what's happening. See the conversation. See the trend. What do they want to lead? Why?
They're rescuing themselves.
So that I'm asking a question, right? When I read through the conversation, I was staggered. I was overwhelmed.
People get plain. Oh,
Yes.
got
So I was overwhelmed. So I'm asking because whatever conversation that should emanate between these folks must be the interest of the Liberian people and nothing more, nothing less. This is what, because it is the people's anticipation that is going to put you where you think you want to be. So what you project must be the improvement in the lives of the people. But we see absolute political ego in the rest of the folks. Now, then you said something. Prince Johnson has a plan. So we are entertaining political desperatism. You understand?
Oh my goodness.
We're entertaining political desperatism. Exactly.
Where are the people in all of this? Where are the people you're coming to rescue? Because it's about who gets what, who's going to rake it again, who's going to squander opportunities again given them by the Liberian people. It's all about you and you and you.
Separate plans.
Yeah.
This is separate plan being brought to the political template. Separate plans. Now, PYJ is saying in his private closet that, hey, Kun, and all of the rest of the folks.
And telling the Liberians to vote for Joseph Yuma Boakai because this is what's going to happen for them. But mind you, the guys who are around, Joseph Yuma Boakai have their own plan to, throw Prince Johnson and his people in the lion's den and
I want to draft
history.
And I want to draft at this point. Prince Johnson has got an issue with this government. And he said in his own words that, the government does not want to give job to Mayans, and
Look up now.
I'm coming. Right? The government does not want to give job to Mayans and blah blah blah. The government Nimba and all of that. So he raised. Yes, I'm coming. So he raised all of. But these were the concerns that made him to disintegrate. Right? That made him to withdraw his support. So he. These were the concerns. So now Senator Johnson is having his own sinister and deadly plan that said, Jeremiah Kun, we fought for this thing. We spent sleepless night. We spent time talking to John Yuma Boakai, who are once insulted on the social and the public media space. I told the Liberian people that this man was a battery toter. I told the Liberian people that this man was unqualified and incapable of leading this country. I told the Liberian people all of these things. But here I am today going back to this same very man to entrust the Liberian people vote in this man. So you see the political
because he too has his own plan. He thought he was using Joseph Yuma Boakai, but the Papa said get plan. The Papa people got plans. But
he wants to access the executive mansion.
Yes,
that is his focus.
But they have a plan for him to turn him over for war crimes.
And that's what I'm saying.
At least President Weah has been very peaceful, and he believes in peace, and he believes that we can talk about our issues. But the Unity Party folks are not concerned about that. They believe that turning Prince Johnson over will settle the matter.
And that's what I'm saying, political desperatism. Right?
It will settle the matter.
So Prince Johnson is not being calculative. He's not being overwhelmed with his independent.
He got his plans, but the people too got their plans.
No, but that's what I said, plans and plans. So two plans coming. You understand? So Prince Johnson is planning in his private closet, while the Unity Party is planning in.
While Joseph Boakai folks are planning. But my thing is, for me, it's about them, because we know when people are eager for power and they're desperate and they want to do anything to get it, they say when two elephants fight that the grass can suffer. Who suffers here is the ordinary people, because you have said that you're coming to rescue the people. But if you guys have your own separate plans, the fact of the matter is, if the two of you cannot see eye to eye, then the governance of the country is already in problem.
Exactly. You see, so all of these things they're doing They're not doing
governance of the people is already in problem because you guys don't see eye to eye. You're not going to work together as a team because you have a different agenda. The other group of people have the different agenda, and the Liberian people will suffer in that.
The Liberian people are not being invited in these conversations. The interests of the Liberian people are not being considered in these conversations. It is only being done among them to certify their political egotistic attitude. That's the plan. So Prince Johnson is telling Kun, my son, we trust Yombi out. You can remember that conversation. We trust Yombi out. We did the thing undercover so that you can access this position. Because why? We're looking at it.
Not telling Kun, he was telling that because he and Kun had that discussion. He was telling the people of Nimba that is why he wanted them to vote for, Joseph Yoman Boyka. That is the plan, that if their son, becomes the vice president because Yombli has been trashed and their son takes that position where Kun is going to be the de facto president because Joseph Boyka is not well and he's not going to be able to run the government.
Exactly.
Kun is going to be running here, there, Yana. It will be good for us. But little did he know that the people around, Ambassador Boyka, also the Jacob Akoli, the Patrick Honda, the Mosio Pare, Robert Pare, they have their own plans. The Amos Tue, they have their own plans. Their plan is, we already know what Prince Johnson is already thinking. He's thinking that, Ambassador Boyka is not going to have the energy to run this country. But his plan we also have plan for him because we're going to turn him over for persecution because he has killed, a lot of over 250,000 of the Liberian people. This is a man who is seen by the people of Nimba County as their hero, but this man is seen as a murderer to the people
to the collaborators.
To his collaborator. For me, that is the key. And then Liberian people are at the center of all of this because if they are to be given power, you can imagine what is going to be happening.
Exactly.
And the Liberian people will be left to rescue themselves. Let's open up the lines. And we talked about several different issues. And it's your time.
So let's give the Liberian people the time to talk.
You have an opportunity to talk your own. We have talked hours already. It's your time. And call us on 0880-514 096. And you'll be live on Open Conversation. I'm already ready. Yeah, that kind of,
It sounds terrible here. I don't know about you there.
Hello? Okay, I'm not in it.
This one is terrible.
Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, is it LBC?
You're live on the LBC. Go ahead.
Yeah, how are you doing?
We're good.
So today, let God be well, man. Thank you for the topic of the discussion. Is the sacrifice for those?
He's breaking up.
You don't know.
You're coming in broken.
Hello?
You're coming in broken. We're not getting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said, everything the best. The detractor of this government, God will bring them up to justice. One by one. We've been talking it over and over. But we're looking up to the election commission to announce our results, very peaceful, and we're advising our brothers and sisters to remain kind until we can get the election and go for Mama Liberia.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Hello, CFTC. This is Mike Green. I come from Cizé community.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I know people from Nimba, most of the people, they travel thing is spoiling Liberia. I know what the people say carrying the men like a bad stigma on that tarnishing the country, spoiling the country name all around here. The international community coming to help Liberia to carry all the broad things going on, but Liberian people ain't seeing it that way. They carry too much travel thing into politics.
Okay, I think we've lost you. Let's take this other person. Good evening.
Careful.
Good evening.
Hello. Oui.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you have to move away from your radio or your.
I'm not.
Phone. Phone is terrible.
You're coming in broken though. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead.
I'm MS Serico Kawa.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yes, you talk about Nimat. You have a policy about Nimat putting a tower Tabala. So I don't really know what project is. What is the Eastern vote? Because we have no development in so easily. Put because we are wisely. Then when Nimat vote for a candidate, then people say Tabala. So what is the Eastern vote because we are?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Are you following the program or you just responding to somebody who called? Are you following the program? Hello? I knew you'd go off. We don't answer for what people say. You respond to the program. Talk about what we are saying on the program instead of we have issues that we're dealing with.
Simple.
Hello.
Hey, ma, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, great famous on this show.
Okay, let's hear you.
We are on the note concerning about Senator Johnson. This guy is a record setter. One of the most smart and clever person in this country. With all the 14 years civil crisis, he still lives and still making headway. Let's forget about Prince Johnson issue. Let's come to Unity Party. I believe Unity Party, like we just gotta keep fighting the country until God can give us leader. I think you guys the last time the video. But we're not that leader here. I think people are trying, people are struggling. Things are far, but you guys keep cutting me off. Now this is where we are. You know, I tell people say people are surrounding the leader, they can mislead the leader.
But who cutting you off now?
I said it last time. My second is not far. If they get asked me, what kind of job you do? I said, I'm a heavy duty driver, and not only for me, as well for the nation.
Well, when you heavy duty driver, so what's stopping you from being a driver? Don't change my topic, please. Go to the issue.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Let me go to the point. The issue is, I don't think that song you're singing now will think like black people man now.
What song are we singing? What song are we singing? What song are we singing? Hello, what song are we singing?
The song you start singing concerning about you said you guys discuss the government or the CDC government, you're discussing it.
I don't think you're following the discussion. You just want to cause confusion in that. For me, I'm not in that with you tonight. You should follow the discussion and talk about the issues we've discussed. Exactly. You're not going to take us back. Thank you. Simple. If you listening to the show, you follow what we're discussing. If you don't want to listen, you're free not to listen. But if you listen and then you want to bring another discussion, then, I'm not going to go into that with you. Trust me. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening. You're live.
Yeah. Yes, try to find from Maryland County.
Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you. We think everything those people have on my they are very exposed. So we already know what they're up to. The Liberian people already know everything they have in mind to do. This country is enough for special person. For every one of us. So we only want to bring any other thing in this country that have to do with violence. Because we are exposed and we hear everything. So that's my own point.
Thank you for being a part of the program. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah. Hello.
Why should I help me out here, please?
Yeah, this is Johnny Top calling from Kingsburg.
Go ahead.
You know my sister, God has his own way of intervening in people's problems. The real problem is a peaceful problem. That is people that have been leading us. We have not had leader on day one. So the people that have been leading us, they are insincere to this country over and over. And this is how God has brought this democracy as our last bottom. Any other thing people claim for us in the country, they will be revealed. The last time our president was revealed. Now it's Patrick Honda and his group put it in their own group revealed. So any other person that comes with any hating agenda of bring people will always be revealed. Over and over, and more revelation will come. For the president just stand firm. They will get more revelation in his before the election is finished, and after the election finishes, they will get more revelation, and nobody will share blood in the country. I thank you for getting that kind of document, and let it live for you, and your own security set is at stake. Make sure you manage yourself well, and other people that are around you before somebody do something to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And perhaps all of this, about Prince Johnson could just be a charade to give a false impression that they are committed to the establishment of war crimes in Liberia, right? Because we know here that during their regime, during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime, that was not a regime that was even committed to, setting up the establishment of a war and economic crime.
Yes,
court.
exactly.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, hello. I want to learn about the color off.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, MS again, Cowell.
Okay,
Yes, people yes, you are saying that when P. Johnson told Jamal Kung or two people in Nima that Jamal Kung will be the next president, so we trust.
We did not say that Prince Johnson told Jeremiah Kuhn. If you have not listened to that clip, go and find it and listen to it. We were just trying to compare what Prince Johnson has said in that leaked audio versus what is now all over Facebook. That is a leaked, a conversation from their chat room, from the Unity Party chat room, what they are planning also to do to Prince Johnson if the Unity Party takes office. That is what we're comparing. It is not us saying that. There is a leaked video, there is a leaked audio that we have, and we've played it here, during the campaign season. If they announce campaign open again, we'll play it so that you can hear it. But this thing that we're reading is what, is all over Facebook today. And this is something that has leaked from the chat room of the Unity Party. And we're reading what has come out of their chat room. And we're comparing that to what Prince Johnson said earlier, that Mr. Johnson or Senator Johnson has his plan. The Unity Party folks have their plan also for him. That is what we're talking about. That is the matter here. I don't know why you guys keep carrying us back to, something that we're not discussing. Ever.
Hello?
You can't be calling us and then you'll be listening to the radio. You have to lower the volume of that radio or receiver, please.
Hello? You can hear me now?
Yeah.
What I do, our leaders are very smart. So we can go for her. Because we are thankful. The job of that day is a real life. It's a way to establish Senate or work coach. We went to the CRC. A lot of our people involved in a lot of things. It's a message of forgiveness, and that message of forgiveness is good. The first president, Marielle, thank God for her. The president, thank God. And some of that, the one. Will always stand and always. That won't be back. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes, as I was talking, he said all the leak audio. As I listen to it, the audio, but I believe you're trying to convince the Malians to vote for Jeremiah Praga because their son is on the ticket.
Of course.
Yes, as soon as all the past president so that we can speak to convince the Malians to support Jeremiah Praga as president. So I see that video only replaying like campaigning for CDC because Mamadou made a statement like president go all.
I don't know whether you have a problem, and you don't need to call back here, because when you call back, I will not allow you. I will not allow you to talk. So don't hurt your head. If you call back, I will not allow you to talk, because what you're saying is way out of what we're discussing.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to allow you to bring back what we're not discussing. I think I have tried to make myself crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't understand what we're discussing, I'm sorry.
Simple.
There's nothing I can do about that. But if you call back here, I'm not going to allow you to say anything, because you're way off track. Trust me.
Hello?
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 Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is this Matiti?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Parlement Samukam. Kutota.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, what you are saying, thank you for the audio. But I think before when we have to come into power, we have hope for a change. And we did not have any plan. I bother like one people.
Really?
Why you did?
He did not have any plan? He did not have any plan?
No,
you haven't heard anything about the CPD?
I don't have any message.
Really?
We listen to him currently. We did not hear from him.
Okay, I think it's
Even
you
if they
who did
delete
not
audio,
listen, though.
yeah.
I think you didn't listen well if you say he didn't have any plan. I think you really didn't listen well.
I think maybe you play a year from the time he started the campaign 2017. We did not hear from me. I did not hear.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The only thing we saw on the table was hope for change.
What is
But
it?
for the audio,
I didn't play any audio here, sir. I didn't play any audio.
no, what you see, I think what you read about the cabinet, the platform, that I think the allegation that you give so perception from the Facebook, and it's not saying that the whole team that have voted for on the broker or Ambassador Broker are the one that all of them have come to meet, and they still be accepted.
What is your understanding?
The government is for phony.
Hello.
So if the government is for phony,
Hello.
12 phony or 15 phony.
Now, how many
So
people can form it?
it got to be, yeah.
Are other people who voted can form the government?
Not everybody can form the government, but it is those type leaders that were able to meet and come to one agreement.
But so what is my problem with that? I told you that every one of you who voted for Joseph Boakai is supposed to form the government. Is that what I said?
No, but because if you come in all to say this is something that they are coming on, and where they will take like raw air, the Liberians should know where they're going. It's like campaigning for one side, and you are journalist.
Is that a wrong thing for Liberians to know where they're taking them? Is that wrong thing?
If you're seeing it this way, you need to be balanced. If even this went this way.
Are you balanced? Hello, are you balanced? You there? Leave the line now. If you don't want to talk, then leave the line.
I think that was a network problem.
He said, I'm not balanced. I'm just reading something that is on Facebook that, the Unity Party folks have, planned for Senator Prince Johnson, and their cabinet is a leaked, conversation. I'm playing it. How am I drawn into that? It's my job to bring it to the Liberian people. If you don't want to listen to it, that's fine.
It's concerning, and
of course.
More besides, both the Unity Party and the Senator Johnson, both these factions must be cognizant of what is going on and trending in this chat room. You understand?
It's important.
It's important.
It's
very
important.
It must raise, and more extensively, it must raise the concern of the Liberian people, because these are plans. You understand? They are on the lines. They are in the queues. They are the ones making the decision to affect this country for the next 6 years to come. And if these things are being unearthed, revealed, and we've seen the desperation of these politicians that are, so
so desperate to come to political office, then the Liberian people themselves will have to be cautious. You understand?
Yeah.
Very good.
Like I said, this could be another charade of, gaining international, support or confidence, because there is no way we've been here. There is no way in the past, and this is a government that former Vice President Joseph Boakai served in. President Shirley was in no way serious about war crimes court. She supported, Charles Tiller and the war. So there was no way that they were even in support of a war in economics, economic crimes court. Nobody is stupid here, and if these things come up, we must talk about that. I'm sorry if you don't like to hear that. Well, that's fine. You don't have to listen.
Matidi, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hello, Matidi.
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm fine. This is Master Koi from District 4.
Let's hear you.
Thank you. At this time, God, that news is not about you. In a sense, you guys, all the Facebook messages could not discuss the illness of Boakai, how to rush Boakai to hospital. So when it comes to how to find their government,
rush Boakai to hospital. You and who discussed that here?
No, the message that funding cabinet is a sign of progress.
But you can say that, but don't say at least this is that to discuss. The sickness of Boakai. Have we discussed the illness of Boakai here? No, before you go further, I'd like to erect that checkpoint. Have we discussed the illness of Ambassador Boakai here?
No, it's not.
Why did you bring that?
I think it's a good message that the foreign cabinet then the illness of Boakai.
So why did you bring the discussion of his illness here?
For the minister of the running campaign for this one, Boakai is a minister person like bro.
I'm asking you a simple question. On this platform, do we discuss his illness here?
Not this movement, not movement, not I'm speaking about the past.
I'm not asking you about now. I said, since we've been on this platform, have you heard
of this? But tell the clapping star in Labrador, I'm not Boakai, an innocent person in Labrador. You have not answered my question. You have not answered my question, though. What a question, sir?
My question was, do we discuss his illness on this platform? Is that what we do?
We are in campaign period, we're in election period. For the day the campaign started, we're discussing. But now today, you're discussing the cabinet, the funding, office vote. Now, why are you discussing?
That is not the issue of, that's not the center of our discussion. But I'm sorry, it's hard for us in this country. But again, that's who we are as a people.
Absolutely.
It's really, really a difficult thing for people to clearly understand when people trying to put a message across. It's very, very, it's difficult. We're not discussing, that a cabinet has been formed. That's not the core of our discussion, because obviously we are in, elections. People go into election. The party hasn't won elections here yet. No. So if you haven't won election, when you win election, then you start discussing cabinet. But the point here is that the plans that they two have, we're discussing the two plans. Prince Johnson has his plan. He had his plan. It was leaked. Now we're hearing the plans that, the Unity Party also has for Senator Prince Johnson. That is the core of our discussion. If you don't understand, that is a totally different thing.
The Unity Party's self-confidence is leading them to political desperation. Yes. So our discussion is centered around the interests of the people who will be victim of this political cataclysm. That is our interest. Yes, honestly.
I told you, your BP boys don't be using it yet.
Honestly, honestly. So the cabinet has been formed. The proposed cabinet has been formed. Now, the National Elections Commission has not announced any result. These are factors that bring about confusion in the country. And
of course,
those of you listening to us, you're not being circumspect. You're not seeing what we're seeing. You're not being analytical. You just sit down and probably the conversation is not going your way. It's not in your interest.
It's against, because you support the Unity Party and you feel that that's your party that has been discussed, but you're not looking at the nitty-gritty
greater group of the people. Yeah, you understand?
Of the discussion.
So if the people are having a clandestine, setting up of how you call it, a cabinet, you understand? And then
we are still going through the electoral process. NEC is still announcing the results when a political party is trying to set up cabinet.
Has set up
So
a cabinet.
what do you know? What do you know in the first place? Do you know what it means if these people lose the elections? Do you know what it means? They are going to respond in a negative manner. You know what it means?
People who support the Unity Party are already on Facebook saying that people are going to gather in the streets, people are going to do this, people are going to do that.
You understand?
We've already won.
We are victors.
You set up a cabinet when you haven't been announced winner of an election, and you think that is okay.
These are recipes for disaster.
Obviously.
So we need to trash and trivialize these things so that the Liberian society can be saved. Those of you listening to us, it is not because.
Good evening.
Yeah. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. I'm calling from Maryland. My name is Nathaniel Seaton. Good evening.
Nathaniel, go ahead.
Yeah. When people want to listen to this show, they should think because the same thing happened to Jogga 2005 when they were going behind to all post on it at the Mokolo school. Today when someone come out to say Baga said no one should hold anybody say they go for CDC. We want for our nation to go. Anything that happen here and this and that, they say when they may are going to become president and someone might go to the head, they know that they will go to the head. French doesn't know very well you go to the head, why they buy all this here. And no matter what I say, oh, the other party, we're talking about our country.
Okay, sir.
So
thank you. Thank you, yeah. Sorry, you were in speech.
Yeah, I think his concern was important as well. So these are the people who are setting up a government, a proposed government, when the National Elections Commission has not declared any of the parties winners. It's concerning. It's alarming. It must draw our concern.
And you even go to the extent to say that, Senator Johnson knows that he was used, to get the votes from the Nima people. You think because you're sitting in Monrovia and you support the Unity Party, so it's okay?
Yeah.
If another person who is from Nimba County and is supporting the Unity Party because of Senator Johnson hears that Jake Kabakoli is saying that Prince Johnson should be held responsible for killing 250,000 of our people. He's a murderer. You think that person is going to be happy to even listen to that? Because that person is doing that, is supporting, you because of Senator Johnson, and you go back and stab him in the back, and you think it's not worth talking about.
Let me draw your attention. If you do a recount, 2005, 2011, and 2017. The Unity Party votes that they got in the first round in Nimba County cannot be accounted to the ones they have in the first round in 2023 only because of the Prince Johnson factor. Only because of the Prince Johnson. But the records are there. The records are there. Nimba County is responding to Unity Party because of Prince Johnson. And you're having these kind of plans for Prince Johnson.
Yeah, and you think
so
it
means that the people of Nimba County, when they get to notice that this is the sinister motive of those of you that are in this political collaboration, it ignites them to violence. It destabilizes the operation, the political operation. It destabilizes the operation.
You think they're going to be happy?
And they're going to be happy.
You think they're going to be happy? And if they're not happy and anything happens, all of us, pay for it as a country. So we need to talk about these things. Yes.
Prince doesn't use us to vote for you people, and then you're using and abusing. So we want to pay back. You don't touch the emotions of people in these former manners. You don't do it.
You're desperate for power. You use people, you get to power, and you have plans to eliminate them. And you think it's okay that nobody should talk about it. It's wrong. because it's Liberia we're talking about. If you at the center, if tomorrow you are in power and you cannot hold, the center cannot hold because you guys are fragmented. There is a problem from the Kone, who is the vice president, and Joseph Yuma Bwakasa. The country will not be in peace because everybody, without your stability, the whole country cannot be stable.
Absolutely.
And we have to talk about these issues.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chief. How are you, Mama?
I'm good.
Okay, man, what you know? How are you, Chief?
I'm good, man.
This is the voice of Eric Sartino, the lead campaigner for the Biani Hall Sedition in District Number 3. And let me say thank you so much tonight for the conversation, the open conversation. What do you mean? There is an imminent second round. And these conversations are very important for our people. And the only way it can reach to the last woman, in the village is when we get to receive our seditions to carry this information to them so that they will understand the kind of leadership that want to come in from the angle of the Unity Party. And this is where, for us, and our sedition we want to contribute. We want to ensure that these messages is taken to our people so that they will know that George Weah is the right man to lead this country because he had the country at heart and he has done so many other good things for our people. So today, this evening, I'm kindly appealing to you that you can give us some time to sit on your platform to explain how we really want to contribute. We, the Biani Hall Sedition,
we're not open here. Then nobody open campaign here. We're not talking that one now until we go to the second round and people can campaign. Then we can discuss that other one.
Yeah, it's good that campaign not open. I'm just saying there's an imminent second round. So it is important that this conversation be here so that our people will understand. It's not about sitting on the radio every day, but for us, we want to take our megaphone. We have our pay engagement material. We want to take our megaphone. We will do the recording where our people will hear some of the things that they need to know about our government, about this government.
Okay.
And it'll be very important that you give that
platform to do. No problem, no problem. You have your job to do, no problem. When the open campaign, if there is a second round, we can have that discussion. Thank you so much. Hello.
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, I call from Kakata. My name is Aloysius Esiao. Hello, you getting me?
Sir, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Very well. This leak audio you're speaking about concerning the planners.
I don't have an
injunction. Yeah.
I'm not talking about audio here. I don't have any audio. These are messages from their chat room.
Yeah, okay, the chat room and you follow, and you got it came out at the leak. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, leaked messages from the chat room.
Okay, it actually happened because this is there's something you reading, maybe you follow it, maybe you're connected with them through your chat. But if it actually happens and those players are playing, they are not playing well. Because Prince Johnson has been noted, though in fact war with many other persons in this country who got elected position. There are many around here. Even our former representative, Richard Bolly, besides he went into government in tenure time and hold one of the top positions at Central. And they begin reform. Good gentlemen today they are working contributing to society. Prince Johnson has joined along with that type of support as to become a next president if India is not being elected. But if any group of elements, I will refer to them as that way, in my own opinion, that planning to throw him up to the hill as the world concoct. I don't think it is a good plan because you're making me something to bring you to Sussex when you plan evil. But I don't want to say actually happens as been alleged by you. But if those people actually did it, it's wrong. It's very, very wrong. We are speaking of going to runoff, and we'll be having a runoff very soon, and Met will be pronouncing us to go to runoff. And if we doesn't hear this, I think we'll be taking different trends. I just have some of the negative dark politics Liberians have in this country. So I can be paying or doing good for you, paying them evil. So for me, I don't have much to say. I just want to speak to this as my own opinion. Thank you so much, FPTL. Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the program also. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Johnny Tony. Is it here?
Yes, sir. Maybe you need to lower the volume of the radio behind you.
Yeah. You know, when I can't take my concern about this is that most of the video students are called me. The one that happened to one are called by Genetic. The Genetic, someone on.
You will not come here and, just say whatever you want to say and accuse journalists. It's not here you're going to do that. I'm sorry. Trust me. It's not here you're going to do that.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, it's Percy Johnson calling from Value Community.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my point here is, I don't think it will be necessary when we are in such a political season that using somebody who know, activities within a party to try to, to degrade or to paralyze them. In a sense, you are introducing conflict in the unity party.
How am I doing
Because
that?
I don't think,
How am I doing? No. Before you go to what you think about, how am I doing that?
What?
How am I doing that is the question.
In a sense, you saying that there's a leak information about when I
said, how am I doing that? No. How am I introducing conflict?
But the explosion, it seems like you people are institutions, so you people doing everything to create the party.
So am I the one who wrote what I read? Am I the one who wrote that? Am I the one who wrote that?
You're not the one who wrote it, but
so how will you say that? How will you say that I am introducing confusion when I didn't write that? How will you say that? I shouldn't read that, right? I shouldn't read that. In your mind, I shouldn't read that.
For me, I'm just looking.
Where are you going? Come back here. If you say I'm introducing conflict, I'm not the one who wrote that. I'm not the one who wrote that. Go back to your Unity Party people and tell them to keep their things secret. But when it leaks, God doesn't like, bad. So when it leaks, we will discuss it because that is our job to discuss it, whether you like it or not. I know it's not in your favor, so you will not be happy about that, but that is not going to stop us. So you can accuse me of being the one who's causing confusion when you go and put pen to paper and say we're going to do this to this person because we believe that this person is this and that, and it leads, we'll discuss it in the public. Trust me. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You know, my dear sister, Liberians are what we are. The whole thing that we all see here today, once it is not them, when they are desperate for something, once they haven't gotten what they want, they will always find means to do whatever they want to do. At the end of the day, they put the country in problem. So all of these people that are speaking, and their sister, just forget about them and go ahead with your job. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a part of the program. We're going to take 2 more calls and then we will, give our parting comments on these issues, and then we'll be done with that. Whether I know, sometimes when the topic is discussed and it's not in your favor, you will just say whatever, please, this is about Liberia. It's not about my person. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, hello. How are you? I'm Dennis calling from Caldwell Coffee Farm.
Let's hear you, sir.
Thank you all so much for for the topic of discussion. I'm so surprised and disappointed in some Nigerians who don't copy from their past mistakes. 2015 and 2017, when Accounts Gray was reading the then United Party incoming government, said that was politics. And at the end of the day, it came to reality. Today, they wrote something on Facebook, the same Facebook that they are sharing false results on. It's the same Facebook that they are sharing their government and waiting on, and someone is saying that you are bringing problem. So, my sister, I don't want you to any dwell on people when they are calling. Don't even call them or let them finish what they want to say, because they are just empty pillows that just fly around being controlled by a breeze. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. But unfortunately, I'm not going to allow anybody to just spill anything on the radio because
I
have a responsibility also. You know.
Okay, thank you, Ma.
Thank you, sir. The fact of the matter is, we're not in. Thank you, sir, for being a part of the program. We're not. This is not Radio Kigali. You know, and you, whether you like it or not, we will pat ourselves on the back because we're doing the right thing. You can say to us, sir, you can go off. That's fine. Thank you. You cannot say that, you know, you come on this radio and call and say journalists are the ones who are bringing war. Journalists are not the ones who went to Butuo and Kample. No. Journalists are not the ones who are in your TRC report for bringing war and being questioned for war and crimes, economic crimes in this country. So you cannot, you know, place a blanket statement on journalists because something has leaked from your chat room that we are talking about. This is public information. When it comes to the public, we will discuss it. Whether you like it or not, that's fine. You don't have to listen. Those who have interest are going to listen. You're my very last caller. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Hello. Good evening. Yeah, we will not be a person. We are a friend. People to you, I'm Jay Cordial for LC Kubaro.
You're what?
I'm Jerry Cordial for LC Kubaro.
Okay, Jerry, I heard you. Did I hear you say you are a friend?
Yeah, we are a friend. We think that we are a friend. If they do not boy about beauty like that, I'm away both.
Okay.
So that is some more fear now, but we know that they will not do anything to bring confusion in that we are present because everybody tasted the war and they know what they mean by war. So God will expose everybody who have evil playing for this country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your very last caller. Washington, I come back to you and then we call it a wrap.
Nothing much to really say because I think our foremost concern and priority is to ensure that the country is saved. And we, as professional people, we are able to inform our people about the major happenings in the country and to be able to unearth these plans of politicians. It's important. And I want Liberians to understand, very simple, that when people are desperate, when people political quest and appetite is overwhelming, is staggering, then it raises the concern of the ordinary people to be on the alert. What is happening with the conversation that we are seeing with what is going on in that particular chat room needs to be given attention. Those of you who probably, if there is a run-up for a second round, those of you who be going back to the polls to vote, it must raise your concern. And like you said, many a time people will call on this radio and say, oh, business days, blah, 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 you people are this. Those things, I don't really waste my time on them. Because whether you say the right thing, you say anything, there are certain people who believe they are dogmatic. They believe that we're supposed to say in their interests. And this is not what we are here for. It is the country's interest. It is our paramount priority to be able to say these things that will instill peace and stability and bring about absolute, normality in the country. We're not here to please a particular person, a particular individual, only because we sit down here some nights and be able to talk about our country's development. No. So I would like to say, let's keep the peace. Regardless of our political diversities, let's keep the peace. Let's know that this country is on a rebuilding process. We have structures that have been lined up in a template to build the fabric of this country. Let's keep the peace. If we have concerns that we think they are discerning into what they are descending from what we expect, the requisite authorities are still there that our concerns can be channeled to. Let us not allow politicians to drive us into acrimony, to drive us into disturbing the peace and bringing this country to its knee. It has happened before. Let us prevent ourselves from allowing it to reoccur. The English means the relapse of this thing or the recidivation. Thank you very much.
Okay, join us, God willing, tomorrow when we will be here with another edition of Open Conversation. Like we always say, the conversation is open. We will keep it open. We'll talk about everything that concerns, us as a country. Like, we are hopeful that, the National Elections Commission will tell us what it is, because it is what it is. And if we have a possible rerun of elections where we will have just two candidates, because the first two persons who are in the lead are the ones who are going to elections, then we'll go to elections. Whoever wins elections wins elections. But Liberia first, Liberia last, and we must, act as good citizens, because if we went to elections today, whoever wins, this country is not going to burn. People are not going to die because somebody emerges leader. That is the decision of the Liberian people. Like I said, the National Elections Commission has always, it's a difficult thing. People always talk about people cheating in elections. I have been a journalist for a very long time now. I don't see the possibility. It's very, very difficult. It's not an easy thing to cheat in elections. That's why when you're going to elections, you should have poll watchers, because everything is just calculated. No. See what these people went through during these elections. Up to 6 o'clock in the morning when the polls closed at 6 o'clock. But because people were voting up to 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in some places, people had to wait for them to finish voting. They counted the ballots. They tallied that thing. And the next morning, before some people who worked went home, because that result had to be, pasted on the wall for people to see. So it's just transparent. You have to do your job. And when you do your job, you will get the results that is needed. So there's no need for people to be beating war drums around here. Yeah, and that's another good war, and panicking around here and causing stir and confusion around here. And if you think that you have your plans as a party, a candidate, keep it to yourself. By the time it comes on the Facebook, trust me, we will discuss it. We will just try to authenticate whether it's coming from that place that we hear it's coming from. We will discuss it. Thank you again for listening. I know some of you really get pissed, but you will still listen. I'll be here again tomorrow, and keep listening. Have a pleasant.
From the east to the west, north to the south, let's come together as one. They say you're not there, we stand, divided we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. While you forget that, you from Lower Country, from Maryland.